following on with our Batman theme, what have you got for us today, Ray?
Well, today I thought we'd start with these DC Direct Classic Silver Age figures. We have Batman here, actually comes as a 2-pack with Robin, so they definitely sport the classic look. They have a very mild articulation. They're a pretty decent sized figure and they actually have a good amount of detail. They actually remind me of the cartoon series that was on between the late 70s, early 80s called Super Friends. These guys have been around for a little while, but you can still pick them up at a decent price. Personally, I really like them and I'm going to give them a buy straight off the bat.
Nice. I actually agree with you on this. I love the fact that Batman is in his kind of classic blue rather than the black that we've come to know.
Yes.
And they won't break the bank, so it is definitely a buy from me as well.
Yeah. And then we've got this guy here. Now, he was designed by Kiya Asamio. Now, this is by the production company Yamato. It was released as an exclusive to Japan only. However, DC Direct did get distribution. There's around 10,000 of these released. You can still find him, and he is still available for a very decent price.
Now, he's got a slightly longer cape than the other, so you can tell that he's a bit of a modern interpretation of Batman.
Yes.
The pose that he's got, kind of crouching over those stairs, it's a bit scary. He's a bit menacing in this.
Yes, he is. I personally don't like the pose so much. Up close, there's a lot of detail. There's a lot of detail in the base. However, at a distance, I can't really work out what he's doing, whether he's avoiding his foe or attacking his foe, and it's just not quite clear enough as to what he's doing in this statue. So for me, I'm just going to have to make it a borrow instead of a buy.
Fair enough. He is kind of hidden by his cape there. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the Bat. Now, this collection also comes with a Two-Face, a Joker, and a Catwoman. Yeah. In my opinion, I think the Batman and the Catwoman are the only ones worth getting.
Oh, yes.
Having said that, though, sorry, Bats, but you're also a borrow from me.
Yeah, the Joker and the Two-Face, in my opinion, are terrible. But let's move on to our black and white statues.
Yes.
Now, these guys are quite special, quite unique.
Now, there we go. Now, in case you didn't know, in 1996, Mark Chiarello pitched an idea of a Batman black and white series that was going to showcase the top artists and writers. DC released these statues as a celebration of that anthology.
That's right. There's around 15 or 20 of these guys currently in circulation. Some of them are a little harder to find than others, and consequently they are a little bit more expensive. But we have 3 here to show you today. We have our comical sort of caricature piece here of Batman, which is dedicated to Sergio Aragonés, who gave us Mad Magazine.
Indeed. Next, we have a slightly more classic, sleek figure by Dustin Nguyen, who has a huge body of work with DC and Wildstorm since about 2000. A bit more classic Batman.
And our muscle powerhouse here, Batman, he is by Sam Keith, who most of you will know gave us is responsible for the great artistic vision on The Max. So what do you think about these guys, Sonia?
Look, some of them I really like, some of them I don't like so much. For me, this is a borrow because as a collection, I'm not such a big fan. I like the real classic ones rather than the kind of over-exaggerated. Yeah,
I can see what you're saying. At first I was there with the borrow, but I think I've moved on from that. I've started thinking of these guys all on my shelf, these different variants of Batman, and I thought that as a collection they would be awesome. I'm a little sorry that I didn't start collecting them sooner. It's a buy from me because even individually there's a lot of detail and I think they look awesome, so yes.
Fair enough.
Now, for those of you with a keen eye, you may have noticed that this is a Frank Miller inspired statue. Now, for Frank Miller fans, this is probably a perfect example of his distinctive style. This is called the Batman Dark Knight Strikes Back statue. Now, thank God I don't have to say that 3 times very quickly. So he is all hand painted, and I would argue that this guy is flawlessly painted. It's made from cold cast porcelain, which is a slightly older way of making statues. These days they make them from polyresin, or if they want a little bit more detail, polystone resin. It features a stunning rendition of Batman, together with his sidekick, Catgirl, aka Carrie Kelly.
Yes. I really quite like this one. I love the over-exaggerated feet on Carrie here and on Batman. And there's a little bit of playfulness here. It's not quite as serious as a lot of the other Batman statues are. I would have preferred Kerry in her Robin outfit. I think that would have been a little bit better. Having said that though, I still really love this and it's a buy from me. I think it's really lovely.
It's for that reason that I can't give it a buy actually, because despite the detail in this statue, I just can't get past the figure of Carrie. I would prefer her in the Robin costume, even though Batman looks awesome, so it's gonna have to be a borrow from me too on this one.
Aw, that's a shame. Oh well, Bats. Well, thank you so much for that, Ray. This is amazing Batman collection that you've brought for us.
No worries.